Hello fellow hunters, welcome to the stream. We are today once again live in Deer Hunter 2005. I think it's been a while since I streamed the good old classic. But since I'm done for the most part with Hunt Sim 2, I thought it would be a good idea to go back to the roots today. Basically I'm planning to stream a bit more of this old classic game until Hunt Sim 3 will be released at some point. There will be some Hunt Sim 2 every now and then, but not as much as in the past, because there is simply nothing left to do. So for today I will keep my loadout from the last time I played it, I guess. And let's check our profile. We are here, Master Hunter rank 1. There is still a long way to go. And to start the stream, I think I will do my favorite stock map, Georgia. Because as usual, when I haven't played the game for a while, I need to get used to the controls again. Yada yada yada, you know the grind. So let's check. Okay, our weapons should be fine. Toggle running. That's also the same as usual. Okay, let's check my favorite hotspots. The wind direction is not in my favor right now. But I have one rifle calibrated, I think, for 200 meters. That should be enough, even with a bad wind direction. And for close range hunting, I have my muzzle loader. That's one of the weapons that I really missed in Hunt Sim 2. It would have been so great if they implemented something like that in the game. The reloading speed is hilarious slow, but it's still a lot of fun to hunt with this kind of weapon. So for now we reached the end of the field, and I think for my first attempt I will head down to the river. It's usually a good spot. Yeah, and while I make my way to the first location, let's talk quickly about the usual news I checked before the stream, and like in the past, there is nothing new from Hunt Sim 3. No blog post, no nothing. The Steam store page says coming soon. Yeah. And I'm really curious what their definition of soon is. I'm sure it's not the same as my definition of soon. There we have two. This one is let's say mediocre. Need to get a bit closer, I guess. This one, he looks really fat and chunky, but the rack is way way too small. I want to get a little bit closer to this one. Just to estimate if it's maybe worth it to take him. At my profile score, I need at least a record book size trophy to gain points. This one seems to be too small, I think. But I think I'm going to risk it anyway. Let's aim a bit lower for my calibration. Yeah, we get a bullet cam shot. Oh yeah, he's way smaller than I thought from a distance. Maybe approximately 140 points at best. 140, 150 I would expect from the camera perspective. Yeah, he looks way smaller than in the binoculars. Yeah, not that far away from my expectation. 147. Maybe that is enough to not lose points, at least. But we will find out after the hunt. Maybe we can compensate it with a much larger one. I have still one buck in my bag limit. So we have a chance to save the hunt. This one, let's say this was a warm-up calibration shot. From this point on it gets interesting. This area down here is usually quite rewarding. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but maybe we are lucky. One of the advantages is that you have a really good view over the area. I can see nothing on the horizon, so I speed up a little bit. But I want to avoid rushing too much to avoid spook anything that might be behind this hill here. I think there's something in the distance. Yeah, correct. Looks interesting. the rack size isn't that bad. He might be an interesting addition to my trophy lodge. Even if he's for sure not a monster. Let's check the distance again. 125. Quite similar to the last one. Yeah, that happens when the wind direction is for sure not in your favor. There's a doe or a fawn, at least something without a rack. I'm speeding up this hunt a bit. While he's swimming, we have a good chance to check him. He looks interesting. I don't take him for the size, I take him for the variation of his rack. Even if I lose some points, I don't care that much in the end. There was something running away. Let's say this complete map is a warm-up hunt for today. So I will not care that much about the score, but this rack looks really interesting. $135. Okay, that was score-wise, that was really, really bad. Let's return. Okay, we kept our score. That's good. This one, yeah, this one is the interesting rack shape with these two almost symmetrical spikes. Even if it's a non-typical, looks really cool. And this one was our first prey for today. Yeah, in the binoculars the rack looked a lot bigger, so from a closer view it's quite disappointing. But it is what it is. So for the next hunt, I think I'm going for another more easy one. I go for Utah. I think I start at my usual position at this spaceship rock location. I'm not sure yet if I go for some of the, let's say, advanced custom maps that I have for the game. It will depend a bit on our success, I think. If I have trouble on the easier maps, it wouldn't make much sense to go for a more difficult one. there was something. That's something small. There are some critters. A badger, I think. Let's go this direction. This time I try to avoid walking straight into the wind direction. We got both bugs in the last map, but you should avoid walking with the wind. For its age, this game is surprisingly sensitive when it comes to spooking animals. Oh, hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to some good old Deer Hunter 2005, and there we have something. That looks promising. Wind direction is again not the best. Let's try some scent killer. And let's try a caller. Maybe we can call him in. I'm not sure where he's hiding. Let's check if we can see something. There he is. From the short glimpse I got, the rack size is not that bad. No world record for sure, but a decent mule deer buck. Maybe we can stop him. Now we need to hurry a bit. Stand still, that's really bad. I need to get a better angle. I don't want to risk a long chase here. Let's try a shot while he's walking. Yeah, he slows down and he will drop really soon. This is our direction. Okay, we got the next deer. Amazing. Not the monster size I'm looking for. but it is for sure a good thing to find at least something to get back into the game. Somewhere here. I think I need to adjust my camera angle to find him. That's just a small one. As simple as these graphics look, at the first look at least, it's surprising how it can drive you crazy sometimes to find your deer. Especially if you only have a rough estimation where the animal dropped finally. But also sometimes I'm just a bit blind, I think. These were these small bushes where we saw him the last time. Maybe he walked a bit further than I expected. Also sometimes they drop in the middle of some vegetation. There are just some smaller ones. Let's make this a little bit easier. I will take out my hunting stand. Let's set it up here. He can't be that far away. But as I said, sometimes the game can drive you crazy. Is there something? Let's check this area back here. Just some small ones. Let's go to this rock back here to get a better overview over the area. Maybe that helps. But as you can see, I completely lost my feeling for how long they run when they slow down. Usually you can see them a lot better from a distance when not everything is rendered. What the heck? See, what's here? A party? Only small ones. So somewhere in this area is our bug. Just to make sure, let's check all these smaller bushes. That's just a dough. And to make sure, let's check the other side of this rock area here. Maybe I can't believe it that he was running so long after that shot. I really want to avoid losing the trophy, because that's for sure something that will cost me profile points. On the lower ranks it's not that big of a deal. Just checking. No, cannot see you, but it's just something small. Nothing. Yeah, I'm trying to reconstruct the way we were going. Yeah, this was the small rock from where I shot him. I think that was the direction. Yeah, from here I guess he was coming down that small hill, and from here we shot him, and behind these two bushes he was already really slow and disappeared. To be honest, I expected everything today, but not that much tracking for a basically very simple trophy. There he is. I think we were blind all the time. Maybe I lost track in the first place. But thank you for your suggestion to go back to the starting point of the shot. Yeah, here we are. Here we are. I think he's decent. No, not a beast, I think. For a mule deer, maybe 160, 170 or lower. Holy, 191, more than I expected. I think that's a record book size. The world records, or it's close to a record book. I think the world records from for the mule deer starts at 205, 210 score. Really cool that we got him. So let's check our GPS. We started in the middle. I think I'm heading north. And hopefully we can find another big one. Yeah, sometimes it takes longer than you expect to find something in this game. Even if the graphics look really simple and old at the first look, it's when you get closer, it can be challenging to find them, especially when they when they drop in areas like this with a lot of smaller grass and vegetation, that can be quite annoying sometimes. But I have to say, it feels really good right now to be back into the game that I played for so long now. And at least for now, it's personally for me, it's a lot more enjoyable than Thund3r 2. There will be every now and then again some Thund3r 2 content, but for the most part the game feels, let's say, finished. So when I reach the 5 million credits insanity milestone I set for myself, after reaching that it feels kind of done, let's say it that way. I'm really excited for the new game. But from what I'm seeing, or let's say from what I'm not seeing, that's any relevant news or output, I'm skeptical for a release in the near future. Even if the Steam store page says coming soon, yeah, soon can be tomorrow, soon can be in 6 months, and soon can also be in 1 year. I have no idea about their schedule. The latest news is quite old right now, and there was nothing, I think. Okay, let's say I don't have Facebook and all that stuff. Maybe they post something there. But for a reasonable gaming publisher, I expect that they post their stuff on all of their social media and news platforms, so that I don't need all of them to get the news. I'm happy without all that mostly stupid stuff. And I'm happy with checking Steam store pages and maybe some news blogs. And since I left Twitter or X or whatever they call that stupid stuff, since I left that, I don't have any feelings that I miss something when I'm not there. That's absolutely amazing. Check the GPS. Okay. Yeah, let's go for the eastern direction. Maybe we can find something up there. This map, just like Georgia, has the biggest advantage that you have a really good overview from the most spots. Not like, let's say, Illinois, for example. The open fields are fine, but the really dense forest can be a pain to hunt in. To play these maps, I need the appropriate mental mindset to go through that. And I don't think that I have that today. Maybe we can try a run on the fields in the next hunt. But for now I want to complete my bag limit on this map if we can find something in a decent size. And I really want to know if this 191 mule deer bug we got recently, if this is a record book size and if he will boost our profile points. I really hope for it, but I'm a bit skeptical. I think if I remember correctly, the record book and world record threshold on mule deer is quite high. They are the biggest deer species in this game. And with 191, I think with blacktail or whitetail deer, this would have been almost a world record. But on a mule deer, it's at best a record book size. I will just keep the direction, cross this small river. That's just a doe, I think, or a fawn. Nothing relevant. I'm rushing a bit to speed it up, because the map is quite large. And the viewing distance and the open character of the area just allows to scan the horizon if there is something interesting. It makes everything a bit more effective. Back then, when the game was hot, we played a lot more careful. But like in so many other games, if you play that stuff today, you are just used to a lot faster pace and speed of the more modern games. So there is clearly a tendency to play it more arcadey and faster, and to rush more through the game to speed it up. I think today most people just lost patience, and that applies to so many aspects of life. People are just impatient and want everything and everything very fast. No one has time anymore. Yeah, that's cool. So I haven't played solitaire for a while. For now, you're not missing anything. The eastern part of this map is quite dead, I think. But the animal spawns here are just, they are really, really random. You have some good-sized animals on every map when you load it. The difficult part is to find them. Sometimes you're lucky and you spawn in the right area, but not every time. Check the GPS. I will go south for now, and if we reach the end of the map, I will stop the map, check the trophy and load a new one. The wind direction is really bad again. Just realized that, but I try to get maybe up here, so I get a good overview again. To check if there is something that's worth staying on the map. If not, I just kill the map and go for a new one. Just a badger. The funny thing is that this old game has critters on the map, and Thund3r has no critters. For sure the game engine would allow it to add critters like squirrels, raccoons, badgers and all that stuff to the maps, but there is nothing of that in Thund3r. One of these things I don't understand to this day why they don't implement it. Such easy stuff to make the world a little bit more alive. So I think I will end this map and load a new one. I found nothing else here. Okay, we are on the same score as we started. Yeah, 191, not even a record book size. Do I have one? From the non-typical, no. The 219, that was our world record. That thing was huge. 197, okay, I was close to a record book. Maybe 5 or 6 points more, and the result would have been really different, but it is what it is. Let's go for Illinois. Let's go for the fields. That's also one of the more easy locations to get used to the game again. At least I had no horribly failed shots today. We downed everything in one shot. That's good. Yeah, that's really cool. Watching the stream and at the same time playing solitaire. Yeah, that's matching the old school character of this game. I remember playing solitaire a lot on my old PCs when it was the Windows XP era and before that. I think today solitaire still comes in every Windows installation, I guess. I need to check that if I have that on this machine here. Okay, I missed my direction. I want to go to the west. I think solitaire is a good option to kill some time when downloading bigger updates and stuff. When you can do anything else on this machine. So let's check the fields here in the west. If possible, I want to avoid going deeper into the forest. From the animal population, I think on this map we have again only white-tailed deer, if I remember correctly. I think here were only whitetails. At some point I need to grind some black-tailed deer. If I remember correctly, we miss maybe a record book and a world record on that species. From the stock maps, they can be found in Oregon, I think. Also one of the more difficult maps. But all that stuff I need to check when I spend some more time in this game again from now on. I need to refresh all that old information. There's just a small one. Behind this fence, I'll try to be a bit more careful again. viewing distance is not that ideal when running uphill. I remember I grinded here quite a lot on my main profile on the way to the champion hunter rank for reaching 160 points. I expected that to be really challenging, but it was even worse. At some point I got only some tiny profile progression for world record bugs. The progression curve to the end of this game is absolutely insane. Everything up to Master Hunter, so rank 100, is quite easy and relaxed, but from that point it's getting really slow. No, actually we had nothing on this map so far. A really small doe, but nothing with a wreck so far in the fields here. I will check this this other side here, and to make the stream a bit less boring, I think there is something. Just a doe. To make the stream a bit less boring, I think I will jump again in a quick Georgia hunt. We already have 1 hour of stream, so that's so far okay. Let's check the GPS. So I'm rushing to this fence and checking the other side, and if there is nothing, I will switch back to a quick hunt in Georgia, and after that I will probably end the stream for today. One hour plus X is, let's say, always my minimum goal I want to reach. And yeah, here is nothing, so we pulled a really dead map from the game. Or all animals were deeper in the forest, and I don't want to do that today. Let's do another quick run in Georgia. So there is just a turkey. I always start in these fields up here, but now I will not head down to the river. I will check the other side of the fields first. If possible, I want at least a little bit of profile progression. For that I will need a record book trophy, at least. The world records are so rare in this game, I don't really expect to find one. Usually they come around the corner as a big surprise. Need to find the gate of the small electric fence, so there it is. Yeah, okay, the gate. Good joke. This again is just a dough. And in this run, I think I will not take the risk to take animals that are clearly too small. I don't want to risk to lose points. The warm-up hunts were done, so now I'm looking for a decent size, and everything that's smaller has a lucky day and can live. That's just fawn, really small. I want to see a big silhouette on the horizon with a huge rack. And this way I'm taking now is basically my second favorite way to explore this map. My favorite way is what we did in the first hunt today, going from the fields down to the river, and in most cases I found 2 bugs at that point. If not, I can go further behind the river. And my second favorite way to hunt this map is this direction. I will end in a similar spot in the end. But here I can check all these open, let's say it looks like an industrial forest for lumber industry. Everything very parallel and doesn't look that natural. The advantage is you can see almost everything that tries to hide here. Nothing with a wreck. Down here we reach the river area and there will be a small cabin. That's one of my usual waypoints. I take in almost every hunt. There it is, the small cabin. And from here we will follow the river to the west, and in the end we will reach the field again where we started. And with that circle we checked the most interesting locations on the map. There are some more. But for that we have to run quite a long way. Usually I avoid that, at least for stream. But we are not very efficient anyway today. We got some animals, that's fine, but I'm a bit disappointed that we haven't found anything really big yet. The mule deer was a good start, but unfortunately it was not big enough. I get a feeling that the game doesn't like me anymore. Only critters. Nothing, 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 absolutely nothing. That's a big doe. Maybe it comes along with a buck, or maybe not. Right now I think definitely not. No, just a turkey. Another one. Crazy. Absolutely nothing interesting here. And as I said, now I will close the circle and heading back to the fields where we started and checking our starting wave from the first hunt today. Maybe we're lucky and have something on the fields up here. Let's check the GPS if we are right. Yeah, from here we should reach the fields very soon. Oh, finally there's one. Oh yeah, that's fine. Thank you for joining the stream. It will end soon anyway. We have something here, but no. Way too small. Way too small. Don't want to risk that. Made that mistake in the first hunt. Yep, a quite small one. There are some more. Only small ones. We spooked this one. I think now it gets interesting. This one could be really good. Yeah, this one. This one looks good. That will be our final animal for the stream today. Maybe a record book size. It looks promising. Wind direction is again not ideal. That hit was quite bad, but he slows down. And he will drop really soon. That looks good. Somewhere around here. We should find him. Yeah, we dropped in the river. You can't see the size that good, but it looks promising. 161, that's okay for a whitetail. Not a beast, but I think that's at least something to close the stream. I got no profile points again. 161. No record book, but at least he is quite small, 176 pounds. Could be a bit heavier and larger, and the rack looks cool. But I think it looks amazing because the deer itself is quite small. Okay, like I said, I think that will be the end of today's stream. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I hope you enjoyed this stream. And next week there will be, I think, Deer Hunter 2005 again, unless I decide something else. But I will let you know any news or stuff like that in the community posts. So enjoy your evening, have a great time. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye.